I live in the South Jersey area, New Jersey. It's basically the Philadelphia suburb. The state is basically runoff for two big metropolitan areas, Philadelphia and New York City. The other day, there was a really big story about a gym very, very close to me called Atlas Gym that opened in defiance of the governor's executive decree. At first, the police said, you're all in violation of the decree. That being said, stay safe and have a nice day. Something to that effect. Everyone cheered. They later came back and issued citations to the business owners for being open in violation of the governor's decree. Then the other day, they actually arrested a dude who went in to work out at the gym. This is absolutely insane. We're facing an unprecedented crisis. We have the pandemic. I totally understand. We're nearing 100,000 people dead nationwide, most of it being concentrated in New York City. So I can understand why New Jersey is concerned. In North Jersey, you have a portion of the New York City metro. But this is getting insane. Arresting somebody for going to the gym? Give him a fine or something at the very least. I mean, in my opinion, do nothing. Now, with all due respect to the business owners who open their gym, they put up signs saying, respect law enforcement. Apparently, I don't know if it was them or someone who works for them, said on the bullhorn, the law enforcement is being forced to do this, or they're effectively being forced to do this. Nah, I don't buy it. Sorry, man. If you were directed to enforce something that is unconstitutional that comes from executive decree and you choose to do it, nobody is forcing you to do that. You know why? It's America. If your boss comes to you and says, do something illegal, you say no. But these cops had no problem arresting a guy for going to the gym. Look at this. New Jersey fitness enthusiast is arrested after he works at a gym that opened in defiance of state stay-at-home order. So I'm going to tell you what right now. This story is a little bit more personal than normal. The gym is minutes from where I live. I can literally hop in my car and be there in like 10 minutes or less. I am absolutely now going to make sure my business leaves New Jersey. I live here. And I am absolutely going to make sure that all of the expansions I do for my business happen somewhere else. This is insane. Okay, look at this. Coronavirus vaccine must be widely available before New Jersey fully reopens to new normal. It's going to take 2 years for a vaccine. I get it, man. The pandemic is bad, but the economic damage is getting absolutely insane. And it's very, very difficult to try and talk to people about why just dumping money into the economy makes literally no sense. Now, listen, I want to read you this story about this vaccine because this is what people they're starting to say in Los Angeles. That's what the Mayor Garcetti said, that, it might be longer than 3 months, the lockdown. We're going to need a vaccine before we can fully reopen. When was it ever about needing a vaccine to reopen? 15 days to slow the spread, right? That's what they said at first. Now we're nearing 2 months. Nearly 100,000 businesses have already been shuttered permanently. And you know what the most disgusting thing about all this is? The big chains, the big corporate chains will be fine. The rich people will be fine. You know what? I don't require patrons to come into my home for my business. For the most part, I mean, it would be great to have guests for the Timcast IRL podcast, which we haven't been able to do since the lockdown. But at first, I'm totally willing to entertain that you want things to be closed because we're facing a pandemic. Well, now we're facing a much more serious problem, and you're telling me that there's no end in sight. This story about needing a vaccine is basically saying we will keep things locked down indefinitely. It is particularly irksome. Okay, living somewhere where there's nothing to do, nowhere to go. If I want to buy stuff, I got to order it. And also acknowledge straight up the small businesses and the specialty shops, skate shops and game shops are suffering, potentially going to go out of business. And then what happens when this is all done? All we have left is Walmart. Walmart's profits are skyrocketing. And New Jersey is straight up saying, we're going to need a vaccine. We're going to need a vaccine. But you can absolutely go to Lowe's and Home Depot. You can go to these big stores. No problem. I'm going to read this for you. And we're going to talk about what is now evolving into an indefinite lockdown by executive decree. As Governor Phil Murphy is the governor of New Jersey. So I apologize if this is a bit esoteric. I know many people don't live in New Jersey. It's not a nationwide thing. But considering what happened in Los Angeles, considering now what we're hearing from the governor of New Jersey, don't be surprised if your state says we can't reopen. And then you know what they're going to do? Don't be surprised if they then come back and say mail-in ballots. It's just so convenient for them, isn't it? Earlier, Donald Trump tweeted that in Michigan, they mailed out a bunch of absentee ballots. My understanding is that, a lot of journalists are saying that they mailed out absentee ballot applications. But surprise, surprise, Governor Whitmer of Michigan is saying we can't reopen and threatening people and lying about them. And what do we get in New Jersey? What's up with these blue states, man? That's you know what? It's my fault, I guess. It really was a mistake to move to New Jersey. I thought it would be no big deal. I had talked to some, financial people for starting a business, and they were like, yeah, but the taxes are really high. And I'm like, you know what, though? Like, I like it, right? It's close. It's not in the big city. It's its own kind of thing. Nah, huge mistake. This is probably, there's a couple reasons why New Jersey is not faring well in many areas. Failing to attract bigger businesses. They're bleeding out millennials. This is probably why. Okay, I want to be able to run my business in peace. I want to be able to enjoy myself. We can't do anything. We've been locked down for months. Fortunately for me, I have a nice house. We got a great backyard. I've built some stuff, so I'm okay. All right, but it is still frustrating because we never expected to have to be stuck in our houses doing nothing for months. Now you're going to try and extend it, bro. I'll tell you what, Murphy. I can take my business, not that you care, okay? I don't think my business is the most important business in the world, but I'm looking at getting a building. I'm looking at hiring staff and starting a big, a news company, a media company, bringing on more and more employees. I'm not going to do it here, all right? You want to have your indefinite lockdown until you deem that we can get a vaccine? By all means, go and do it with my blessing. And I'll go somewhere else where I don't have to deal with your ineptitude, ignorance, and indecisiveness, okay? You can't just tell everyone, we don't know when, we'll figure it out. Maybe a year, maybe a year you'll be able to get your business back. Nah, I'm sorry, dude. So I understand and respect these gym owners who are reopening in defiance of governor decree. And he actually threatened them directly. Yeah, you can't, we can't live this way. Okay, why would I want to be in a state where you're telling me no business for you? I'll go somewhere else, bro. I don't need it. Take a look at this story. This is the escalation of the insanity. As Governor Phil Murphy lifted more restrictions put in place to combat the coronavirus Monday, he also cautioned the state would not fully reopen to a, quote, new normal until there's a vaccine widely available, something experts say may not happen for some time. The cautionary statement was made as the state continues to make gains with steady drops in hospitalization rates and a gradual reopening of some businesses with restrictions. But hospitals are still accepting new COVID patients on a daily basis, with 10,435 New Jersey residents have died since March. Now, my understanding is this is mostly North Jersey, New York City Metro. Until either a proven vaccine is in our midst or proven therapeutics are widely available, we cannot firmly enter the new normal, which eventually awaits us when life will once again return to all our workplaces, downtowns, and main streets, Murphy said during his regular COVID-19 briefing in Trenton. Dr. Anthony Fauci, a key member of the White House coronavirus task force, has said a vaccine is possible by early next year. So great for all of them that just after the election, you can open everything back up. Under a rapidly advanced schedule, though other estimates put the timeline 18 months away. While there are trials ongoing, there's no approved coronavirus vaccine at present. You know what, man? Give me liberty or give me death was a statement made in all seriousness that we understand the risks, okay? What we need and what we've seen from the data. This flies in the face of that. Governor Murphy is completely inept, ignorant, incapable. Okay, we've already seen studies showing that those who have stayed home are more likely to get sick. We need sunlight, literal sunlight. We need to be further away from each other, meaning not crammed into tiny buildings. So perhaps no large gatherings, and enforcing social distancing would be fine. That means you can open your gym. And many jurisdictions, many places around the world have already done so. We've already seen a lot of businesses reopen and they put up shields. Is this not enough? You want to see more businesses get shuttered. 100,000 small businesses have permanently closed. Permanently. That means these people, there is no new normal. There is no other side. You've already destroyed their lives. I get it, man. It's a pandemic. We got to do what we got to do to make sure we don't spread this. But if you paid attention to the science, you'd learn some very important things. They don't, though. The current information and best understanding we have so far, several studies have come out. Another study just came out showing that many more people have already been infected, meaning the mortality rate is substantially lower. Now, this is a novel virus. We get all this. That means that the likelihood that you can catch it is much, much greater than other viruses. So that means we will see more people die than any other virus, regardless of the mortality rate. But for the most part, we have to recognize that it looks like the lockdown is no longer viable for several reasons. There's one study, and I want to make sure it's clear that the one study I've read, and it's just one, shows that the people going out and working have been less likely to actually get sick, likely due to the fact that they're not in close quarters and they're outside more often. That being said, based on the economic damage, people's lives being destroyed, jobs being lost, and rapid inflation, we are seeing the cost of food spike to more than it's ever spiked since 1974. The cost of eggs is up apparently like 16%. That's from CNN. A 2.6% general increase in food, and we're just dumping money into the economy. It's not going to work. But Governor Murphy doesn't care. It doesn't seem like he's paying attention to the science. I think what he's really scared about is that if he actually does what people need to do, he's going to look bad no matter what he does. Well, I'll tell you what, acting like an idiot and threatening small businesses is not the appropriate way to actually deal with this. Take a look at this story from Patch. And then I'm going to show you what really makes me angry. New Jersey gym warned by Governor Murphy reopens for second day, one arrested. Governor Murphy threatened this small gym directly. Amazing. It's exactly what the governor should be doing. Finding a small gym where these people are saying we need to reopen, and then you targeting them. So they go on to mention, we know it's reopened. One person was arrested. I want to find the quote from Phil Murphy himself. The law offices of Jeff Henniger was offered to represent for free gym members at Edalus Gym who get arrested in connection with violating the governor's executive order. Speaking during a Tuesday afternoon conference, Colonel Patrick J. Callahan, superintendent of the New Jersey State Police, said the Belmar Police Department and the Camden County Prosecutor's Office are looking into additional charges against patient. Bro, I am going to do everything in my power to make sure my business leaves this state. You can have it. You can have your more charges against them? Come on, man. Civil disobedience at worst. Will you get a ticket? Nope. Prosecutors' offices and local law enforcement are the first lines of attack, Murphy said during the news conference, adding that the state was not there yet in reopening gyms. It's indoors. It's close physical activity. We're concerned about it. So what? Don't care. I'm over it. Take a look at what's going on in New York City. You want me to say, I can't go out. I can't go to these stores. I can't go to the gym. Gyms can't reopen. This is what you get in New York City. NYPD investigates after shock videos show a massive street party in Brooklyn with revelers simulating sex, twerking on top of cars, and crowding onto sidewalks without masks. People can go to the beach. People are partying in the streets. And what are they going to do about it? This is what we get right now. Bravo. You have done everything wrong. I'm not saying I could do anything better. Man, I would never want to be involved in politics. This is just really, really bad. But you got people coming out in the streets, filming videos, nothing being done about it. In New York City, granted, I don't live in New York City, right? I'm in Jersey. You've got people flooding the bars, people standing in the streets, people drinking, no masks, no social distancing. But you get someone to go to the gym. Oh, governor's going to send somebody down to arrest you. And that's what we're watching. We're watching our businesses be shuttered. The responsible individuals who want to go out and take care of business like they need to do it, the people who have dedicated their lives to starting a career, being punished, attacked, and threatened with more charges. Meanwhile, videos surface of people twerking on top of cars. That's the society you think should be going on. I get it. Look, I understand. They don't want the parties to happen, but they can't do anything about it. The enforcement only goes so far as to threaten a small business owner who is willing to comply to varying degrees with the law. The people who go inside the gym and then get arrested, who stand calmly and politely and put their hands behind their back as you arrest them. The people who are saying, I will cooperate, but I'm standing defiant. And then we get to see this. The people who say, F you, get away with it. And that's exactly what you want people to recognize. You're showing people that those that have complete and utter disdain for your rules and your laws, they'll get away with it. They'll get away with it. It's damaging. It's 100 times worse than opening a business, but that's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. Meanwhile, small businesses who are defying these orders are getting fined. In Oregon, Child Protective Services went to a salon owner's house, targeting her children. That's a threat to their family. We know what that's all about. In Michigan, the governor is going after some 70-year-old barber because he wants to cut someone's hair. These people have lost the plot, and they deserve what they get. When businesses pack up and leave, when revenue drops, they're going to reap what they have sown. California is facing a $54 billion deficit. So what does Newsom say? The feds better bail us out or we're going to fire first responders. You know, man, these states have royally messed up. Florida, not nearly as bad as New York State. Never fully locked down. South Dakota, they screeched. They complained. They claimed South Dakota was the new hotspot. Nope. Actually going down. Never locked down. Your explanations for the lockdowns make literally no sense at this point. It definitely seems political. And of course, you can always count on people like this. San Francisco residents call police on drinkers crowding outside wine bars as local officials crack down on Americans looking to enjoy warmer weather amid stay-at-home orders. We got a First Amendment, the right to peaceably assemble. The Constitution doesn't say why. It just says we can. So if I want to peaceably assemble for a drink, y'all can't stop me. Now they're trying, but that's the law. They're breaking the law. I'm impressed by all these snitches. There was a funny story in St. Louis. The people that were snitching on their neighbors had their names publicly released because it's public information. So I'm going to do this. For those that have been following my content, excuse me, you know that I've been talking about, we've got Scanner ramping up, which is video production, editorially independent. Check out SCNR if you haven't already. This is going to be epic, doing field reporting, on the ground reporting. We've even got, people around the world. It's really great stuff being put together by Rocco Castoro, former editor-in-chief of Vice, like the whole company. And Emily Molly, who most of you know I worked with for several years. They're running that now, doing their thing. I'm also planning a fact-checking and news aggregator. And this means something amazing. Could have been something amazing for New Jersey. It means I've been looking for a long time for a large building because there's going to be a lot of new jobs. There's going to be a lot of new content, some new podcasts, new videos, probably a retail storefront, all this really great stuff. And I was like, it would be cool to have something here. In fact, I found a building that I was almost going to get last year, end of last year. It's an amazing building. Would have been perfect for everything. In New Jersey, a state that is bleeding millennials, that needs to attract young people to come. Otherwise, they're experiencing a brain drain of their skilled elites leaving. I'm not from here. I'm from Chicago, okay? Lived in New York, decided to move down here, like the Philly area. Now it's over. Completely over. Upon seeing this, arguments that we're going to have to get a new vaccine until the new normal can arrive, where people can go to, people will be walking around and going to businesses. Oh, we're going to need a vaccine for that. Apparently, you haven't been paying attention to what's going on with science and what's happening in other states. So you know what? I'm going to take my business elsewhere. I'm going to relocate. We'll do whatever we have to do because I don't need to be here. I don't. All right. And it's unfortunate because, I have this privilege. I do. The content I produce is digital. It appears on the internet. All of you who watched, you could be anywhere in the world. I feel bad for the people who own a gym and they rely on the community. And that is where things get really bad because they can't just up and move. The people who need that gym, who use that gym, if that gym left, they'd be without a gym. For all of you who watch me, no matter where I'm producing content from, you can watch. When we produce media and content, we can be anywhere. Now, as for the retail storefront idea, that does mean the people in the community won't have access to this, hangout spot. It also means the great opportunity for New Jersey to have a big space with some, youthful influence, skateboarding, music, gaming, and all that stuff. It won't be here. And that's your fault. And the policies of New Jersey, you know what, man? It was stupid of me to move here in the first place. I should have known better. But hey, hindsight's 2020, right? It's one of my first forays into a large, expanding business. Things are growing at an amazing pace for me and my company. And we're looking to be something bigger than just Tim Pool, just Timcast. There's going to be a bunch of different media properties and different media companies. We're going to do different things: skateboarding, gaming, music, all this stuff. It could have been here. It could have been awesome. It could have been a reason for people to want to be in New Jersey, to want to come down to these areas. And now it won't be because I can't take that risk. You want to have the governor make a statement specifically talking about one small gym. That is like somebody, it's like, man, just crushing someone under the boot of the power of your state. It's just two guys and a small business, man. That's it. And that's what we can expect. Sorry. You don't deserve my business, man. Delaware's right across the river. Philly's right across the river. West Virginia's not that far away. I can go to any place and open this business, and I'm going to do it. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel, and I'll see you all then.